It's Platt, and today I show you how to make Sambuca. So let's go. So I've been wanting to do this video for a while. If you've watched the channel for a little bit, you know I love making liqueurs. I've done peach schnapps, peppermint schnapps, limoncello, and Sambuca fits up there in the pantheon of classic liqueurs. When I first started bartending, Sambuca was just kind of one of them random bottles in the back that got dusty or whatever. Unfortunately, the other joints I worked at when I first started bartending didn't have the clientele sophisticated enough to even know much about Sambuca. Luckily, that changed over the years. Real quick backstory on Sambuca. Sambuca is an Italian Anise-based liqueur. Generally the most popular is the white Sambuca or clear. There's also a black that you may see, and even a red. I don't know if I've ever seen the red in person. I've read about it, but I've never seen it in person. So that's one we probably won't worry about. Generally, Sambuca is made with star anise, those little star clusters you'll find in the baking section of your grocery store. You can use green anise, but generally it's star anise. There are a couple other botanicals that can be added into the mix to make Sambuca. That's licorice and elderflower. Actually, the term Sambuca is derived from the Latin word sambucus, which translates into elderberry. I believe it's the elderberries that are used to make the Sambuca black. We're not making that today. We're going to make the white. But in the future, we may make the black because I think I do have some elderberry extract somewhere. Probably where most of you may know Sambuca is if you go to a nice restaurant and you see the after dinner drink, the snifter with the 3 coffee beans. That's Sambuca. That's the classic way to present Sambuca. The 3 coffee beans stand for health, happiness, and prosperity. It's a classic after dinner drink. If you have a big bowl of pasta or some chicken parmesan and having some kind of celebratory dinner, nice glass of Sambuca with those 3 coffee beans. It's just a great way to top the meal off. Real quick, I want to give you a heads up if you're new to Sambuca or these anise-based drinks. Whether it's Sambuca, Ouzo, absinthe, what have you, they all suffer from what's referred to as the Ouzo effect. And why that is if you add cold water or ice to these liqueurs, they cloud up. A good example is absinthe. If you've ever seen the presentation of absinthe, where you'll have the shot of absinthe, you put the little cube of sugar and then you drip the cold water. Well, that absinthe, generally when you put it in room temperature, is kind of a clear green. But when you add the cold water, it becomes a milky green. It whitens up and becomes opaque. That is because the oils that are extracted from the anise interact with the cold water. It's not a defect, it's just an effect of mixing with cold water. Won't affect the flavor, won't affect anything. You're safe if that happens. So I just want to give you that heads up in case you make this and you put it in a drink, you're like, hey, what's going on? That's what's happening there. Real quick, let's see what we need to make our Sambuca. First and foremost, you'll need some Overproof Spirit. I have Volkov 153 proof grain alcohol. You can use obviously Everclear or any kind of overproof clear spirits. Sambuca is generally bottled at 80 proof compared to the 50, 60 proofs that a lot of other liqueurs are at. So we're going to need a higher proof base spirit to make our Sambuca, and that's what I got here. Next, you're going to need some table sugar. Some recipes I've read did use honey, but honey could affect the color, cloud it up. Also, honey's a little more expensive than regular table sugar, so we're just going to go with table sugar. Don't get cute there on this recipe. Regular table sugar will do. And then last but not least, we're going to need some anise. I'm using Anise Extract. If you wanted to, you could macerate some star anise in this Overproof Spirit for about a week or so and then come back and finish her up. But I happen to find these 1 fluid ounce bottles of Anise Extract. I've got a couple of those, and that's just going to make our life a little bit simpler. So now that we got everything together, let's make some Sambuca. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is add our anise to our base spirit. I have a 1 quart glass mason jar here. This recipe is for 1 quart. We're going to start off with 1 pint or 2 cups of our base spirit. Woo! I'll clear the sinuses. So I got 16 ounces of our base spirit. Then we'll add the 2 1 ounce or 1 fluid ounce bottles of our Anise Extract. Like I said, this stuff, that is potent. This stuff, like I said, you can find any grocery store. Pretty simple. So we're gonna pour that in there. There's a slight yellowish color to it, but nothing. Probably something you couldn't pick up on the camera, but I can see it in here. Like I said, it doesn't really affect the color too much, but just give you a heads up on that. Alright, add that second bottle. And we're going to pour that carefully, hopefully, into our jar. Alright. Oh yeah, I can smell that anise already. Anyway, give that a shake. We're going to let that set. And while that's setting, we're going to go ahead and make our sugar solution. Alright, so if you've seen any of my other liqueur making videos, you know that these liqueurs are sugar based, where we add sugar to them, so we create a sugar solution. I always use 1 part sugar to 1 part water. If you go online and look at some of these recipes, you'll see recipes like, well, we use 5/6 of a cup of sugar to 1 cup of water, to 1 to 1. Make your life simpler. I mean, there's some times where if they're using only like a tablespoon of sugar to 2 cups of water, yeah, you don't tweak that ratio per se. But a lot of these recipes, you'll see it's close to 1 to 1. So just make it 1 to 1. Make your life just simpler on the measurements. Also, too, I found that it makes my life simpler. All right, I have 1 to 1, and I'm going to get, in this case, I've got 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of water. I'm going to end up with 2 cups of this liquid. Now, all right, now I can go back like, well, I've got 100 proof spirit, and if I got 2 cups of 100 proof spirit and 2 cups of the sugar solution, I should end up at 50 proof. Just, it helps make the math simpler. If sometimes you might have to round up or down on the sugar solution, but just 1 to 1 will make your life easier. I've got a little water heating. You don't have to bring this to a boil. Remember, we've got 153 proof spirit here, so we're not worried about sedimentation. You just want to heat this up enough where the sugar melts in real easy. So quick reminder, 2 cups of water, 2 cups of sugar. We're going to pour that in. All right, we're just going to stir that in until the solution becomes clear. You do want to give her a good stir, though. Again, we want to get that clear because that will help our end product be a little clear. Also, again, quick reminder, just white table sugar on this one. Normally in some of the other liqueurs, I've encouraged you to try maple syrup, honey, different things. This one, just because, again, it's going to be a clear liqueur, white table sugar is fine. So let me get this stirred in. We'll let her cool off. I'll come back to combine and we'll wrap up. All right, so we're done. I just added our sugar solution, let it cool, added to our base spirit. Real quick to review the recipe. This recipe is for 1 quart. We made 1 quart of Sambuca, roughly high 70s ABV wise, just a shade under 80 proof. 80 proof. We took 2 cups of our Overproof Spirit, added 2 ounces of Anise Extract. In a little pot, we combined 2 cups of water with 2 cups of sugar to make 1 pint of our sugar solution. Let it cool, combine that with our base spirit and anise, and voila, 1 quart of Sambuca. You could probably tell from here, fairly clear, straightforward clear. May not be able to tell. There's a slight, just an ever slight orange hint to that, but nothing too noticeable. But there's just a slight color to it. Time for the moment of truth. Let's give her a try. Whew, that anise is strong. The spirit is strong. But that's kind of what you're looking for, a strong licorice taste to it. Let's give her a sip. That's it. We've made it. Goes down pretty straight. One thing with Sambuca, and this goes for Ouzo, Anisette, Absinthe, it really depends on if you like licorice or that kind of flavor. Some people it's just too much for, but if you really like licorice or whatever, man, this is good. This is a real easy recipe to make. Gosh, I wish I had coffee beans right now. I really don't. I just have, the ground coffee. I don't have coffee beans, but I wish I had some coffee beans right now. So that's nice, simple, straightforward recipe. I will leave it down below. And if you have any other suggestions on liqueurs you'd like me to make or whatever, please leave those in the comment section. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Until next time, bottoms up.